Time is 7:42. Welcome back. Giving you a live look at the White House in Washington. The Trump administration earlier this week filed a lawsuit against all 15 federal judges in Maryland over an order blocking the immediate deportation of migrants, challenging their removals.
The issue stems from an order signed back in May, blocking the administration from deporting any migrants who submit paperwork for their detention to be reviewed.
Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joining us now to talk about this new lawsuit. Khalif, good morning. Thanks for being here. I do want to start here with the fact that, we used to say unprecedented maybe once a year when we were talking with you. And now it seems like every other lawsuit this is unprecedented. Naming judges here as defendants in this, why is this unprecedented?
Yeah, I practice saying unprecedented in the mirror now so I can get on TV and not mess it up. That's how often we have to say it. No, it's seriously confusing. And I'll start with a couple of things. This whole process is unprecedented, and I'll say it on both sides, because some folks are doing things on an unprecedented level intentionally, and then some folks are kind of pushed into a corner, and because they've been pushed in a corner, now it's forced them to react and respond in an unprecedented manner. So let's look at the judges. Typically, if you don't like a judge's order, I've said it a number of times, you appeal. That's your right. I don't like what you said. I'm not going to talk about you on social media. I'm not going to say you're some liberal, agenda-seeking judge. I'm going to say thank you for your order and go appeal to the next court. I don't like that court. Guess what? I can appeal it to the next. And typically, once you get to the Supreme Court, then you take your ball and you go home and stop playing. I mean, that's typically how this works. In this situation, it's kind of been turned on its head for a number of ways. An injunction is an extraordinary relief. That's saying that I'm not going to go through the normal legal process. I need you to stop this from happening today. And so what these judges are doing is saying, I'm going to do something even further than that, because what the Trump administration has done is they've taken these people and they're saying, I'm going to move you so fast that you don't have an opportunity to have your hearing. You don't have an opportunity to have your due process. And I'm going to take you and move you to these different states. And so these judges, in the manner which is unprecedented, they've granted to the entire class of people, instead of on an individual basis, an opportunity for an injunctive release, which is also extraordinary and unprecedented because the Trump administration's strategy of moving folks so fast. And the chief judge said that. He said, we wouldn't have done this if the Trump administration wasn't moving at a fast pace to try to move these folks around. So everyone is moving and pushing the judicial system to do things that they haven't done before in the past.
Why is the government trying to move them so quickly when we know that they have a right to at least be heard? Why do we think they're moving at such a breakneck speed?
It's just like any sci-fi movie, Independence Day or any other one. When there is a force field around an entity, you're trying to find ways to crack the system, right? Looking for weaknesses. This is the Trump administration. I say this all the time. He has legal folks in the room that are giving him strategies, solutions to try to be successful. This is actually one that's pulled from the civil rights movement, where I have to find good facts. I have to find a good judicial judge that wants to hear the case in good timing. And so you had all these cases being filed in the 50s and the 60s all around the country, trying to shop for a judge that would be sympathetic to the situation. Well, in this case, it's the same way. The Trump administration is saying, we're going to have so many things happening in multiple places that you're not going to be able to respond and react fast enough. And while you're still trying to address the situation that happened in Nevada, we're dealing with something in D.C. And now we're back in New York, and now we're in Florida. And so now you're trying to have these nationwide injunctions that they're frustrated with, but then it moves to the Court of Appeals, or the Supreme Court will come in by emergency nature and just snatch it. So they have the resources because they are the federal government, but they are not doing other things they should be doing during this time. But make no mistake about it, this is strategic in nature to ensure that the judicial system is being challenged. This is, as I mentioned the other day, a pull from power from one branch of the government in an attempt to try to see if they can pull and circumvent some of that power from the judiciary to the executive.
Well, that's exactly what's in the lawsuit. They're saying that, hey, you are stepping on the executive branch's powers here, and a ruling from the Supreme Court. So what do you make of their argument in that suit?
I mean, the argument that the Supreme Court said was that, listen, you have to, that notice and that requirement specifically for that case and that group of individuals didn't need to have the notice and the opportunity to be heard, and that, yes, the president has authority to control, as the executive branch does, the immigration for the country, not on the state level, not the judiciary, not the legislative, but the executive branch has control of that. I think that's clear. What the judges are saying is here, if I file a habeas corpus petition, being able to give an opportunity to tell that I may be persecuted, I may be tortured or even killed in the country that you're attempting to send me to, you have to give these folks at least, and this is the craziest vexatious thing, only 2 days. So they're saying give them 2 days to have an opportunity to respond. Not in a significant delay. They're not saying give them, 6 months, give them a year. They're saying give them 2 days to be able to be brought to court, have an opportunity to be heard, and for you, state, government, federal government, be able to prove your case as to why they should be. Those are the normal things that you would ask for. What the Trump administration is asking to do is something that is outside of the normal scope. Say, they don't need that. We're going to get rid of them today. That process is different. And this right here, all 15 judges, and asking that another state, because we don't want any of these judges to even hear this case, so we'll just sue all of them. This is strategic and again, good lawyering, but something that I've never seen before.
Well, the trend continues, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.